All right, it's just starting to get daylight, and I am headed out to meet my buddy in North Carolina, and we're going to distribute some food. Actually, we have 2 truckloads of food. Let's get into it.
I'd say it's a nut job.
All right, so I made a quick stop at the store to grab a drink. A little thirsty this morning, and we're on the road from here out. There, I'll take footage of anything I see till we get there, and I expect, since it's been a week out, most of the main roads getting to the point we're going to be cleared, but I don't really know. I'll know more when I get there. I'm just going where they're asking. So yeah, let's get into it and see what adventures lie ahead of us today, because I don't know. As we make our way closer to the area, I just want to kind of give you an idea. I grew up in Pickins County, South Carolina, and if you don't know where that is, it basically, the end of Pickins County is North Carolina. So I grew up playing in these mountains. As I got older, you know, bringing Jeeps and rail buggies and stuff up here and playing in these mountains and these woods. A lot of these little towns up here, I spent a lot of my youth in. So this is a little bit personal for me. This is back to that adage of mountain people taking care of mountain people. As you can see, the roads are pretty clear right here, but we hadn't got into the hard hit area yet. There's also no traffic up through here where it's roads usually packed, so y'all hang in there.
Use the left.
Made it here to the Honky Bucket. Most of you know it as a Cracker Barrel. Waiting on our buddy Jeff to get here. You know him as Greasy's Garage on YouTube. Waiting on him to get here. And he's running a little behind, no big deal. I got up a little early this morning, so maybe I'll sit here and take a nap, but we'll be headed out of here in just a little while and headed up into the mountains. Y'all hang in there. All right, met up with my buddy Jeff, as you know him, Greasy's Garage. There's his Project America 64 Ford. You can go to his channel and check that thing out if you haven't seen the full build. It's basically an S550 Mustang with a truck body. It's really a cool build, so go check it out if you haven't. You can see his truck is absolutely overflowing with donations. There's one particular need they had that nobody thinks about, which is these pop-up canopies. He's got a bed full of those things. Got a bunch of food back there, so we are now headed to Mills River, I believe is how you say it, North Carolina. It's a little small town. I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way. Every single person needs help, but the bigger towns are getting the attention, which is fine. It brings attention to the area and people are helping people, but the little towns are kind of getting passed by. So we're going to focus on helping a smaller town today. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I know the people in the big towns need help too, but places like Asheville, everybody from all over the country is flocking to Asheville, but little towns like Mills River, you know, they're not getting as much attention. So we're going to go in and help them out today. So see the mud on top of the fence? That's how high the water was up through here. Look at it, all up in the trees. You can see the water line where it was up inside the trees. We're at Town Hall for Mills River, trying to drop off some donations. Okay, we just made one stop at the Mills River City Hall where we dropped off some canopies. They asked for canopies, so we brought canopies, these little pop-up canopies. Keep in mind, these small towns have volunteers that are helping people and handing stuff out and taking stuff in. They're having to stand out in the heat of the day to do this. And with all the water around, and it's just muggy and hot and nasty. So these people need taken care of too. So we brought them some canopies. Now they'll have some shaded cover. And then we've got one more stop to make where we're gonna drop off some canned food, about a pickup truck bed full of canned food. So it's not a massive difference, but every little bit helps, and we're trying to help as much as we possibly can help. Again, trying to weave in and on and off these main roads to make sure the roads are cleared and we can get in and out. Sometimes things work out kind of weird. We had an address to go to, and we turned down the wrong road and found an elderly lady down here that was kind of stoved up in here, and we gave her some supplies while we was here to get the correct address. All right, as I skirt back down the mountain here, I need to make a couple of statements. One is the edited on the video is going to be a little funky now because I changed things after recording things. Second, we changed the delivery spot of the food after we got here, and I'm going to explain why. We ended up delivering the food to an undisclosed location. I'm not going to tell you where we delivered it, because I'm not sure if it will cause them issues or not, and I'm not going to cause anybody any problems. I was told from I don't know that you could get a more reliable source when we got here. That now, use this information however you want to. I'm not going to give any kind of negative connotation to any of it. You use it however you want to. But we were told when we got up here and started making our deliveries that if you deliver your donations to a government-owned building, does not matter if that's a city hall, a school, a post office, whatever it is in your area or that you found to take your donations. If it is a government-owned building, then they have to follow FEMA guidelines. FEMA controls what they can take in and what they can distribute out. Use that information however you want to. But if you want to ensure that there is no discrimination, not saying there is, but no discrimination, maybe the best word is to say this. You want to ensure that there's no guidelines to dictate who can receive your donations. Let's put it that way. Donate to let's make it easy. Donate your food or your whatever you take to a church. They are protected properties. You can drop your donation off there. There is no guidelines. We won't say there is no discrimination. Discrimination is a word that sounds bad. There is no guidelines as to what can be done with those donations. They will be given out with an open heart to anyone and everyone. Part of the road is washed away right there. If you come up in these mountains, make sure you watch out for spots like that. This is already a sharp drop off, and there's places that trees have fell and so much water has came through that there's places in the road that are washed out. Please make sure that you pay attention to where you're going and watch out for washed out road spots, and going into curves and trees like that, be laying in the road. You can see all this massive stuff laid in the road, and guardrails twisted up, and mudslides. Just watch for all this stuff. You can get into real trouble real quick in these mountains if you're not careful. Then you run into things like this where you can't get through. Situation a man can find himself in. Yes, that is piles of trees. Here's a situation a man can find himself into. You find a road that's washed out and closed, and you have no cell phone service. You have no cell phone service, so you find yourself digging around in the truck to try to find your old paper map that you know you've got, because, well, without cell phone service, you have no GPS. So trying to find your way back out of a spot, well, that takes a minute. Yeah. That's a lot of trees. Good Lord. Okay, so we did not go into the really hard hit areas today. Now, I'm not discounting any pain anybody's going through. I just mean we didn't go through the areas where entire towns were wiped off the map today. We didn't do that. Today was about getting supplies to a different part of North Carolina. Some areas that are getting overlooked. That's what today was about. But I had a guy reach out to me and ask me if, because apparently, I did not know this, apparently the news in other places in the country are not reporting anything on what upstate South Carolina, the northeast part of Georgia, the western part of North Carolina, and this eastern part of Tennessee. Apparently the rest of the world is not reporting on the news what's going on, so they're getting their footage and stuff from social media and things. So I had somebody reach out to me and ask me if I could put some footage and stuff in a video so they could see some footage of it. So what I'm going to do is, from here out, the rest of this is going to be local news footage, videos that people had taken, some still photos, all things showing what happened, because I just took for granted that everybody understood what was going on and everybody knew what was happening. I didn't realize that this wasn't out there everywhere. I guess I'm in it, so I thought everybody knew about it. So from here out, this is a bunch of video of why we are going to North Carolina. Let's say that. Why people are going into Tennessee and the upstate of South Carolina and all these areas, what happened. So this is going to be some old footage, some new footage, some still photos, just a bunch of footage that shows what happened. A lot of it is going to be from earlier in the week when things really got hit hard. But just keep in mind that some of this stuff is heartbreaking, and it gets real when you understand that these are real people. So here's the footage. I'll put it in from here. Before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and end my part of the video and say, God bless y'all. Thank you to everyone who donated a little bit of money for us to buy some supplies and take some food to these areas today. We're doing everything we can to try to help as many people as we can. God bless you. Thank you so much. Your donations made a difference today. We actually carried about $2,000 worth of canned goods North Carolina today. So that's a lot of food, and that's about all I can say. I mean, I'm overwhelmed at the people that helped. God bless y'all. May the Lord bless you more today than He did yesterday. Him be the glory. Guys, we will see you on the next one, where hopefully we'll be back to car content. We haven't had any power for, I think we're going on 8 or 9 days now. I've lost track. So as soon as we get some power and we can actually do something at home, we'll be back to doing car content, which is, I know, what you guys like. So till then, y'all check this footage out, and we'll see you on the next one.
This is an unprecedented storm, and it's causing us to have an unprecedented response.
This is the city of Asheville in the western mountains of North Carolina, 2,000 feet above sea level and hundreds of miles away from the nearest coastline. But such was the force of Hurricane Helene that nowhere in its path was safe.
We are surging search and rescue teams to help rescue people who are still stranded but can't communicate because cell phone service is down.
As many as 600 people are still on the missing list as search teams fan out across the state, navigating the worst flooding to hit the region in a century, with thousands of downed trees, power and mobile outages, and hundreds of closed roads.
Marshall, North Carolina was swallowed by catastrophic flooding. Now what remains is covered in a thick coat of mud and debris that's considered hazardous.
That metal dyno? It's good to see that go through. I never noticed that metal dyno. I don't really want.
I'd say it's a nut job.